Let's read the patch notes. Oh, it was a dumb joke? Oh, my bad. Okay. Oh, we can listen to the main. Oh, that's too. You can't. Listen to the last Epoch's new main theme while you read for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Can we set that up to, nope. We can set the playback speed to be super low. That would. Want to listen to it? Okay. Just the beginning. Learn to read. What's up, Alex? It's pretty sick. It's very epic. Tiny, thanks for the gift of the sub to Alex. Much appreciated, man. What's up, Nair? I like it. I like the new song, but let's move on. Maybe that'll last longer. Okay. Just in time, Patcher. You absolutely did. We're just now doing them. We did the video. Now we're doing the actual patch notes. That music too loud? It looks like it's slightly too loud. Let's just a bit. All right, Temporal Sanctum, Eternal Legends features Last Epoch's first dungeon. Tiny, thanks so much for the gift that's up to Nair. Much appreciated, man. The Temporal Sanctum, the first of many dungeons we intend to introduce in future patches. So bear that in mind. This is the first, the whole system of dungeons that they intend on making. The Temporal Sanctum is a place of study now corrupted by obsession. At its heart lies Chronomancer Jolra, a researcher desperate to unlock the power of time and the secrets of the Eternity Cache. Added a new dungeon, the Temporal Sanctum. The Temporal Sanctum can be accessed off of the ruined coast if you found a key. Dungeon keys can be dropped by rare enemies and timeline bosses in endgame zones. Beware, if you die in the Temporal Sanctum or leave early, you will need to use another key. You don't get to just keep going. That's not different than an echo. It's like the same as an echo, right? If you die in an echo, you have to try again. You'll even lose the rewards on that. So you get one shot at it per key. Inside the Temporal Sanctum, the boundaries of time are weak, allowing you to use a new dungeon-specific ability called Temporal Shift, which shifts you between eras at will using the Epoch. Use this ability to reach the deepest depths of the dungeon. You'll choose modifiers while exploring the Temporal Sanctum, increasing the danger and rewards. New modifier. Enemies drop more exalted relics. Another way to target farm relics. Increase enemy damage and health in the process. You die in Temporal Sanctum, you die in real life? Boy, I hope not. Oof. I don't think I'd do the dungeon if that were the case. I'm not that confident in my abilities. Conquering the Temporal Sanctum will allow you to harness the power of the Eternity Cache described below. Reaching the end of the Temporal Sanctum also allows you to proceed directly to Chapter 9 of the campaign, assuming you're strong enough. Temporal Sanctum keys only drop in level 54 areas and above, so this skip is only practical if you transfer keys via your stash. So some of you wanted like a way to augment the leveling process with story. This is kind of it. You're already dead inside, it's fine. The Temporal Sanctum has 4 tiers. Higher tiers increase area level, increase the power and number of modifiers, and allow you to unlock the full potential of the Eternity Cache. Great pass SSF, yeah, SSF ain't skipping. No skips for SSF. You won't be skipping in the tournaments with us. Quest rewards. The total number of passive points you can obtain from quest rewards is capped at 15, the same number that could be obtained in 0.8.3. However, more quests now grant passive point rewards, so you do not need to complete all of them to reach this cap. It's similar to how you don't have to complete all the quests with idle slot rewards to unlock all the idle slots. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, it's a buff for me because I skipped the last 2 chapters and lose out on 2 or 3 passive points. Now I get them all. But I feel like I'm just even further incentivized to skip those chapters when it felt like what the game needed is incentive to do those chapters, not to skip them. Feels like we're getting more and more incentive to skip shit and cut content out. And I don't know how I feel about that. Now a new bonus for killing Majasa. Is there? Counters for your progress towards the passive and idle slot reward caps are now shown at the bottom left of the map panel of viewing quests. The following quests now give passive points: Power Mastery, Corrupted Lake, Sapphire Tablet, Destroying the Siege Camp, Oasis Hunt, Desert Treasure. The good news is, like, these were useless quests before that now actually have some value, so that's the positive side. Us Americans would like to be more lazy. I mean, there is that. That's the positive of it for sure. The downside is, like, we've created. Desert created these chapters and, like, they're handcrafted. They put a lot of work into them, and they're saying, actually, why don't you skip them? It just feels weird. Get more shit. The tier 20 dude was right all along. Additionally, the Apophis and Majasa quest now give +1 to all attributes. Okay, so that's how they're trying to get you to do it, to give you a +1 to attributes. Is it worth using dungeons to skip chapters? Yeah, I think it is. It looks like that's what they're trying. It looks like what they're trying to do is, like, be like, okay, we'll let you do less of the story on your second character, but maybe we're trying to incentivize you to finish the story, just to use the dungeon as a skip if you can, because you remember you're skipping content that you're already under leveled in, assuming that there is no level squish or anything like that. So you're doing the dungeon that the first one. Does it tell you what level the first one is on here? You're doing the dungeon, which you have to be able to actually complete, and you can't die in it, to get into chapter 9. From when do you open up the zone? It told us in here, right? Somewhere in here is some Ruined Coast. 54. Okay, so 54. Yeah, and then die exactly. This is power creep for characters. Well, this part isn't. Is our legendaries power creep? Absolutely, 100%. 100%. Those are power creep. I guess you could say, like, the +1 to all attributes for these 2 kills is technically power creep. Are 2 attribute points going to be worth? And only 1 for Majasa. Wait, which one's Apophis? I actually forget. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. I do not know if that's enough of a reward. Doing the dungeons to skip is interesting. There's chapter 9 until over level by like 30 levels, except for some streamers, to show it can be done. Yeah, I guess you could do that. You could be like, all right, I'm going to use the dungeon to skip right to chapter 9 and skip these other chapters. And I'm going to level, like, I'm going to get to chapter 9, then I'm going to level in the monolith, and I'm going to come back and finish it. That strategy will be something that will be interesting to watch happen over the first week or 2. Only for min-maxing people? I actually think it's power creep before min-maxing. But when we see it played out, you'll know why. That doesn't necessarily make it bad. There's still a lot of content that's not in the game yet. There's still multiple endgame systems. There's power creep now, but there could also be content creep and difficulty creep before 1.0 that could make it all balance out in the end. So just because they're adding power to the character now doesn't mean that it's going to make it super unbalanced later. Eternity Cache legendary item. Survive the Wrath of Chronomancer Jelra to gain access to the Eternity Cache. Opening the cache will allow you to seal your powerful gear inside to merge them into something even greater. Centuries of time are needed for creation and bypassed only by a traveler. The Eternity Cache forges the most powerful gear across all timelines. Legendary items. 2K corruption. What about that? Oops, sorry, bud. Sorry. Why are you so ridiculous right now, though? I'm just trying to move my hand and running into your nose because you're all over the place, sir. Why don't you go lay down or something, because you're not going to eat for another hour and 45 minutes. That's a long time. Okay. Each time you clear the Temporal Sanctum, you will be able to use the Eternity Cache once to craft a legendary. You get one legendary craft per Eternity Cache. You have to run it multiple times to make multiple legendaries. Placing unique with a legendary potential and exalted item of the same type inside the Eternity Cache will empower the unique item with additional fixes from the exalted item, creating a legendary. Unique items can now drop with 0 to 4 legendary potential. Uniques acquired before this update will not have legendary potential, so you'll need new uniques to make legendaries. Legendary potential of your unique determines how many fixes will be transferred from the exalted item. The exalted, and that's chosen at random which ones you get. Hopefully true random. Not like, oh, we prefer these ones over these ones. Hopefully true random. The exalted item that is used must have 4 standard affixes. You have to have 4 fixes on the exalt to actually use it. You can't cheese the system by having a +2 legendary and then put in a 2 affix exalted and then guarantee you get those 2. You have to have 4 on it. Clearing higher tiers of the Temporal Sanctum allows you to create legendaries using uniques with higher level requirements. If you're trying to get passes, +1 as fast as possible in Chapter 9 at like 35 to 40 is going to be the strat. It might be. Alright, moving on to crafting. In 0.8.4, we're introducing several crafting changes with the goal to carry forward what we in the community find fun about crafting, while addressing the areas that are less enjoyable. Hey, BMAP, yeah, it's patch notes time. Items now have forging potential instead of instability and spawn with a random amount. So you're going to have a pretty good idea, looking at the item, how likely you are to get a lot of crafts out of it. It's going to tell you. I got lots of potential. I don't got that much potential. And you can work with it from there. Crafting with a shard or rune now costs a random amount of forging potential, normally around 1 to 15, rather than a chance to fracture it. So if you have more than 15, and you have a 15 forging potential, then you are guaranteed to get more than 1 craft out of it. That's something you didn't really get before, except for around 100%. Like you had a 100% chance and you weren't going to fracture it. But now you will know if there's a potential you're done with it. Like if there's a chance you'll be done with the item on that craft. When an item is reduced to 0 forging potential, it cannot be crafted further, but all crafts until that point are guaranteed to be successful. No potential, yeah. You think people will complain about the RNG on this system, and will we be getting an option to choose what stats we want for the legendary? The legendary system, will people complain about it? Yeah. I mean, people are going to complain about it no matter what system they got. The question, I think, the more interesting question is, what are they complaining about? And are those things really valid to an ARPG? Like, is RNG too bad? Is it too hard to make a legendary? Is it too easy to make a legendary? Does it make legendaries way too powerful? Does it invalidate other sorts of itemization that's in the game? Those will be the interesting questions. We'll see. Crafts that are critical successes cost no forging potential. Are you critical success? It's a free craft. It also does not use up the crafting materials. You keep the affixed shard and the glyph. That can be really powerful on some of the more expensive stuff. The old glyphs have been replaced by the Glyph of Hope. 25% chance for no forging potential cost. And the Glyph of Chaos rerolls the affix and upgrade to a different affix. Glyph of Chaos is one of my favorite of the new stuff, because Glyph of Chaos allows you to target an affix that you don't want directly. Doesn't guarantee that you'll get something better or what you actually do want, but it does guarantee that if you use the Glyph of Chaos on a tier 7 exalted, that you actually wanted the tier 7 on, that you have no risk of losing the tier 7, unlike the Rune of Removal. So I really like the Glyph of Chaos. Crit success mirror glyph. See if you can do that. There's no longer +1 extra tier. I thought there was, but it doesn't say in here, does it? Maybe it does not. Maybe it does not. It just gives you the free craft. There is? Does it say it in here anywhere? It doesn't say they removed it. It doesn't say they removed it, but it also doesn't show it in here. They go over it, does the no forging potential, and then doesn't use a crafting material, but it doesn't say it gives you the free one. There might be something we have to check with them. Like, did this change in the crafting? The patch notes just didn't explicitly state it, or was it just an omission in the patch notes? The patch notes are huge. There's going to be omissions, so it's probably something we should follow up with. Yeah, I know it said it originally, but again, it's different here, so it's something we'll have to ask. We'll have to see if there's was a change at some point between that and now, or is it just an omission here? Just to be fully clear on it. As a Glyph of Order, prevents the roll of an affix within its range changing when it is upgraded. For example, if you had a tier 1 health suffix that granted the maximum amount of health for tier 1 and upgraded to tier 2 with a Glyph of Order, it'll always grant the maximum amount of health for tier 2. So that's a really nice strategic item. You won't use this very often at all, I imagine, but when you get that, like, oh, this is rolled perfectly within its tier, I'm at tier 4, I can get a tier 5 perfect. All I gotta do is use this instead of use a hope. Of course, I'm gonna take a little bit more risk with that craft, but it very well may be worth that risk to know that the craft is gonna work out perfectly for you. Patch notes not being flawless, I know, can you imagine? Added the Glyph of Despair. This is also one of my favorites. Grants a chance to seal an affix instead of upgrading it. Seal affixes are moved to a new slot and cannot be modified further. The rest of the item can be modified, and you can add a new affix to the seal affix's old slot, allowing you to craft 5 affix items, something that I've been asking for a long time in the game. So now we're getting lots more affixes, basically, between both crafting and the legendary system. Lots more affixes on our gear. This solves the problem of, hopefully, of just not having enough slots to, like, multiple defense builds, stuff like that. It might just take you a long time to get to the point where you can do it, like lots of gearing, but now you theoretically at least can do that because you should be able to have enough affix slots. Trying your hardest not to spoil everything. I appreciate that, Zakar. Added 2 new rare runes. The Rune of Ascendance changes an item into unique or set item of the same item type, but not same subtype, e.g. a silver ring could become any unique ring. That's the second layer of unique target farming now. We already have, for random items, you know, like items that just drop randomly in the world. We already have target farming for anything that drops off of bosses. Now you have, within the Monolith of Fate, you can target specific unique types. Each, you know, timeline has 1 or 2 different types you can get, and now you can use Rune of Ascendance to target in a similar way. Rune of Creation, which removes all forging potential from an item and then duplicates it, and that's your mirror thing. That will definitely be valuable in certain scenarios where you have like an amazing exalted and you want to put on the legendary, but there's no guarantee you'll get the thing you want, and you're like, well, I don't want to fully risk this exalted, so let me mirror it, and then you can have 2 shots at it. Or if you've got an amazing exalted ring or a 5 affix ring and you want 2 of them, there you go. Storm Strike is going to be crazy good with a new transformation. First build, probably. Storm Strike's pretty cool, for sure. Duping, legitimate duping, legal duping. One time only, though. Replace the Rune of Cleansing with the Rune of Discovery. This is also a huge move to me. The Rune of Discovery adds random tier 1 affixes to all empty affix slots on an item. Has an increased chance of rolling rare affixes. That's sick. I didn't actually know that at all. It does not cost forging potential, but cannot be used in items with 0 forging potential. So you got that exalted, and it's only got 1 or 2 affixes, and you need to put the other ones on. But if you had to put 2 or 3 brand new affixes on it, I think that brand new affixes are the most expensive to put on. That's probably going to kill most of your forging potential. If you're willing to take the risk of maybe not getting very good affixes, or then trying to fix those with chaos later, maybe getting lucky and not having to do that on 1 or 2 of the affixes, Rune of Discovery is here for you. Rune removal will now return shards that are removed to your forge. They are also more common and start dropping earlier. This is also really big to me. I actually don't know if they should have made them more common, because Rune removal is now the new rune of Glyph of Shattering. The rune of Shattering. Excuse me. On anything you care about, anything that has an affix that you actually care about, you just removal it until you get the affix you want. At most, it's going to cost you 4 rune removals, but you'll get all of the tiers of the thing you wanted. So you have a tier 5 of something, or even a tier 7. Well, if it's tier 7, you're probably going to wear it, but either way, tier 5 of a class specific that's really rare. It's just the item it dropped on is garbage, and you need to get those effects off so you can craft on something else. Now you just removal it, and you have 5. You know you have 5. That's such a big change from before. Patch notes came out. Boardman has released 70 new build guides. Most hype you've had in gaming for a while? Sweet. Yeah, this is going to be a crazy patch. Crazy patch. British shaping is no longer more likely to result in moderate rolls, but is slightly rarer. Thank you so much. That system was so frustrating before. Now you actually can use it for your high level crafts and not feel like you're getting screwed. Updated art for all runes and glyphs. Glyphs and runes are now picked up to the inventory rather than going directly to the forge. They can be sent to the forge using the same button that it used to send shards. Oof. That's a nerf. Most people didn't want their shards to go to their inventory. Now they have their shards and the runes and their glyphs all going there. That's a nerf. Not sure why they did that, but here it is. Okay, but of all the things they've added, if that's the worst that they did, then they did pretty damn good. All right, Druid rework and Swarmblade. Let's go through that now. So what's up, Daniel? Mike is the king. Coming to Eternal Legends is the complete overhaul of the Druid Mastery. This includes an all-new resource, new models, and skills for both the Werebear and Spriggan, as well as introducing the final Druid form, Bugbutt. Let's talk about Bugbutt. Add a third transformation skill, Bugbutt form. Bugbutt is an agile form that enhances your melee capabilities. While transformed, you gain the following skills. Summon Hive. Create a hive that summons locust minions. You can have 2 hives. Each hive can create 6 locusts. Swarm Strike. A circular melee attack that also gathers nearby locusts to create a damaging aura around you. Used automatically when you enter Swarm Blade form. Arm Blade Slash. A fast melee combo attack. Sounds very similar to Swipe, but you know. Dive. A short fixed distance dash. Deals damage to enemies in your path. Something similar in Rogue. Interesting. You should make people pick up gold manually next patch. Yeah, there you go. Maybe so you can trade in and multiplayer. Well, all they have to do is make the system so you can pull stuff back out and you can trade with it. Who redeemed Swarmblade? What's Swarmblade? Never heard of that. Locusts don't live in hives. They do in Atera. That's the great thing about making a fantasy game. You guys be like, well, maybe not on Earth, but this isn't Earth, and here. Locusts live in hives. That's part of the fantasy of this world. It's a different place. All right, Werebear. What I'm probably going to be playing. Werebear form has been totally reworked. Includes a new model, new animations, rework skills, and a new specialization tree. While transformed, you gain the following skills: Maul, jump a short distance and slam the ground, damaging nearby enemies. Rampage, charge towards a target location, dealing damage and knocking enemies back in your path. Swipe, a melee attack that hits all enemies in front of you. Benefits from your swipe skill tree, unaffected by weapon range. Awesome. Okay. Roar, unleash a thunderous roar that knocks back and stuns nearby enemies. Benefits from your Warcry skill tree. Casts automatically when entering Werebear form. Locusts live in bug butts. That does sound right. How else is he summoning these? They're not in here. Where is he getting them from? Interesting choice. Okay. Interesting choice. You see something in the future, random? Let me clarify again for those of you who don't know how this works. I can't say a specific word for half an hour, but if I read it in chat. So yeah, this actually does. If I say that word once, I have to reset the timer, and if I say it twice, I have to give a gifted sub. Where is? Okay, so I can't say blades once the timer starts. Well, will that screw me? Oh, I know what you're looking at. Fire pick. Gonna be challenging. say it without the S? I'll just say butts. Umbral butts. That's good. Sure. There we go. We've started. If you say the word in chat and I read it, doesn't count, just so you know. If you say something that gets me to say it, that counts. I think Primalist will become a high APM class, considering you can shapeshift more often now. And it's already, well, yeah, it's already kind of that, but yeah, definitely could be more if you do like a hybrid for sure. They removed the autocast from Maelstrom. Did they? Maybe they did. I don't know yet. I haven't got there. You like big butts and you can't lie. It's easy. I like bug butts and I cannot lie. That's how it goes. All right, I'm gonna stop reading because some of you are spoiling. All right, Spriggan. Spriggan form has been totally reworked. Includes a new model, new animations, rework skills, and a new specialization tree. Spriggan is a spell and minion focused form. While transformed, you gain the following skills. No, it's okay. It's just like there's several things in there that I've not gotten there yet, so I'm just not gonna comment on those until we get there. Spirit Thorns releases a burst of thorns that home in on enemies. Multiple thorns can hit the same target. Thorn Shield forms a protective barrier around you or an ally that grants 30 armor and 30 damage reflected to attackers. A burst of thorns is released when it expires. This is cast automatically when entering Spriggan form. Summon Healing Totem summons a totem that heals all nearby allies. Summon Vine summons 3 melee vine minions that poison enemies and hit. You can have up to 12 vines at once. You can now reorder the skills you gain while transformed. This is something I don't think you were able to do at all before. The order is saved per character and per form. That'll be some nice QOL. Each form skill tree now has nodes that allow you to change directly to one of the other forms without returning to human form. So there's your Dance. Is that the Oblivion? I think it's Morrowind. Yeah, it's the Morrowind. Close though, good catch. New Spriggan is actually your legacy. Time for the return of Spriggan. No more pretending to be sore for a bitch. Was a movie with Billy Bob Thornton back in the day. Sling Butts. Yeah, I think it was Sling Butts. Okay, we're good there. You know I suck. Why do I suck? Pretty sure it's Sling Butts. Yeah. Rage. Transforming now replaces your mana with Rage. Your starting Rage is equal to your maximum mana. So mana scaling helps with Rage. Rage decays over time, and any mana proc cost will cost Rage instead. Reaching 0 Rage will force you back into human form, though you can choose to transform earlier. Actual factual legacy is Perry, which I've never heard him say that. I like that. Actual factual. Other skills. Overhaul the base functionality and skill tree for entangling roots and implemented new visuals, and those visuals are delicious. Overhaul the skill tree for summon Spriggan and implemented new visuals. Overhaul the Druid passive tree. Primalists will receive a free respec of their passives. Looks like you're not gonna find out what's on that new passive tree though until tomorrow. Go look at it. Wesley Snipes would have Butt 2, and Butt Trinity. I like Butt Trinity. I like that one. I would watch, but no, I wouldn't. Never mind. Wait, maybe I wouldn't. Wait, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about Butt Trinity. New skills. Upheaval. New Primalist melee skill unlocked at character level 14. Upheaval sunders the ground in a line in front of you, dealing damage to enemies along the path. You can't overlap a word. Sorry. We need multi-strike for Upheaval. Why is that? Fun. I don't need. Thanks, Quiet. I'm recording this for YouTube. Thanks, Quiet. I'm glad I didn't read that. Oh god, here it is. Umbral Butts. New rogue throwing skill unlocked at character level 18. Umbral Butts is a combo ability that throws 2. This is really hard to do. That's that throws 2 butts, then 4 butts, then recalls all butts, and why is it so hard? In the ground, back to you. Hitting enemies along the way. An enemy can be hit. One second. By multiple butts. Nothing to see here. Moving on to skill changes. All right, skill changes. Ailment chance. Fix less chance to apply ailments on hit effects not working for skills such as Warpath and Flurry. That's a nerf. That's a nerf. They got nerfed. Consecrated Ground from Judgment deals 12.5% more damage. By the way, we're getting the real meat and potatoes here. I'm making Sir Mix-a-Lot proud since yesterday. I don't know what you're talking about. You tapped out and came back to this torrent of butts? That must have been confusing. Void Rifts. Void Rifts from all sources have 30 base damage from 15, but still have an added damage effectiveness of 75%. This brings their added damage effectiveness to base damage ratio in line with other Void spells. Applies to all Void Rifts, including those triggered by the base effects of Devouring Orb and Erasing Strike. Devouring Orb, some people are scared about this. Let's see if they're right. Our goals are to reduce power and visual noise of the orbiting variant with Abyssal Orbs and fix broken nodes, while also reducing downsides on nodes and providing compensatory buffs. Bring maximum allocatable points in line with others' skills without depriving builds of good places to put their points. Also fix cases where added damage effectiveness to base damage ratios were not in line with our standards. King Capybara's update is tomorrow. Patch notes today. Devouring Orb now costs 18 mana from 10. Devouring Orb's damage and area growth cap has been increased to 120% from 100. Dark Moon no longer increases mana costs or reduces Void Rift damage or area, but now reduces duration by 50%. Boardman and friends, welcome everybody. Boardman, have you read the patch notes yet? I am guessing you have, so there's going to be some double dipping. Hey, King Kami, how you doing? All modifiers of duration and tree are now multiplicative of each other from additive. Welcome everybody. Which butt is the best for big slaps? Probably the big one. The biggest butt is best for the biggest slaps. Read through mostly. Nice, nice, nice. Welcome everybody. We are in the meat and potatoes part. We've gotten through like the early section. We're now into like all the skill changes, all of the deep stuff. Fleeting Orb grants 20% less duration from 13% reduced duration. The Armic Fluff can't say word butts. Replace it with word butt. Yeah. To understand, is the auto bomber still viable? I did not play the auto bomber, so I honestly don't really know. Oh no, did you clip that? Hey, I like Butt Trinity. Oh god, that's not the right one. I like that one. Hey, I like Butt Trinity. Man, okay. It still looks good? Okay, sweet. Less orbital duration increases, but still looks decent. Okay, good. So they managed to find a way to not destroy it. That's good. Let's see. Cosmic Impact's collision now has 80 base damage from 15 in terms of added damage effectiveness from 100% and no longer increases mana cost. That sounds like maybe there's something there that wasn't there before. Extinction grants 40% more collision hit damage from 30. Fixed a bug where this node's damage bonus applied all damage from all Devouring Orb subskills damage, not just the collision damage from the orb itself. Abyssal Rush grants 6% increased attack speed, cast speed, move speed from 10. It can have 1 point allocated from 2. That's a straight nerf. In every way. Okay. Weird they nerf butts already? Wow, that was quick. You can't get me with chat, by the way. You can't like directly say the word. Get me that way. You have to get me to say it on my own. I need more alcohol. See, unlike you, I drink coffee. Usually, I do beer sometimes in evening streams. That's it. I don't have any like shots set up on mine because that would be bad for me. My wife probably wouldn't appreciate it either, as much alcohol I'd go through. Windfox 470, thanks for the follow, much appreciated. Why did they add so much throwing support for? Does that count? Because there's no S at the end. Let's just call it Butt Dancer. Philosophize? Okay, let's read from the Book of Bruce, and then we'll get back to the patch notes. What does Bruce think about the patch notes? Bruce says the growth aim is to lose more and more of your mind and come more to your sense. Be more and more in touch with yourself and the world instead of only in touch with the fantasies, prejudices, etc. Very similar to a previous one he did. A Chuck as well. If I say butt again, you think Boardman should do a shot? I don't think Boardman needs to do any more shots, honestly. All right, here's what Chuck says, the great Chuck Norris. To supplement my income, I began to teach karate in my parents' backyard to my brothers and friends. Soon, the word spread in the neighborhood that my karate classes were fun and the self-defense lessons learned might be useful in daily life. To earn a reputation for myself and perhaps get more students, I started to compete successfully in karate tournaments around the state and later around the country. As I had hoped, once I began to earn a reputation as a karate fighter, my school began to prosper. Soon I had students enough to encourage me to open up more schools. Where's the sticky part? Sticky? 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 $50 for tomorrow. What was the butt nerf? There wasn't one. They're just trying to get me to say the word. all right. Umbral Butts. New rogue throwing skill unlocked at character level 18. Umbral Butts is a combo ability that throws two. It's really hard to do. That throws 2 butts, then 4 butts, then recalls all butts and. Why is it so hard? In the ground, back to you. Hitting enemies along the way. An enemy can be hit. One second. Umbral Butts. New rogue throwing skill unlocked at character level 18. Umbral Butts is a combo ability that throws. Okay. We're back. Combo me with the Umbral Butts. What was that movie where Will Ferrell's an ice skater? Oh yeah, Butts of Glory. Right, yeah, that was a good movie. Went to a club and let you tell you there must have been a lot of rogues on the dance floor. You can bury the butts in the ground and they explode on enemies that walk on them. That sounds thematic. How mature I am? I never claimed to be mature. Not once did I claim that. Nor would I, because I'd lie. And I'd try not to do that. Try not to lie. You like being obey-laid at same time. I have no idea what that means and I'm scared of it. Very scared of it. Anyway, where were we? How did you get me? You didn't get me. No, that is very much not it. Nice try. This is why I enunciate, because I pause in the middle, and so it clearly wasn't the word you wanted. I do give you credit though. The fact that you misspell so many things allowed me to say it. I just assumed you were misspelling and tried to figure out what it was you were misspelling. You actually meant to misspell. Well, I guess you actually spelled it properly. Okay, where were we? All right, we were here. That was a lot of time away from the patch notes. Abyssal Orbs from the Abyssal Emission nodes. Direct hits now have 60 base damage from 10 and 150% added damage effectiveness from 50%. That's a big buff. Big butt buff. And their area of effect now has a base damage of 30 and still has an added damage effect of 75%. This means they now deal more damage to the primary target, not less. I'm obviously not gonna read that, Hunter. Even though I could, it wouldn't count against me. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna prime myself like that. World Rot now also grants 5% more duration, but only grants 10% time rot chance from 15. Now 4 points allocated from 3. Rift Collar now grants 10% Void Pen to all Devouring Orb damage from giving Void Rifts 10% more damage. Now 5 points allocated. Void Adept grants 15% increased global void damage from 10% increased global generic damage. I love big butts has followed. Great. Thank you so much for the follow. Where was it? Dark Torrent can have 5 points from 9. Burning Prey can have 4 from 6. Rotting Prey can have 4 from 6. And Void Adept can have 5 from 6. This butt really smells bad. That happens. That happens. Yeah, that did get me one time. That's true. That did get me. I think I'm ready for it now, though. We only got to hold out 13 more minutes against y'all's onslaught. And, man, y'all are really, really trying. I'll give you credit. You're really going for it. Atera's Blessing. I'm afraid I'm going to get randomly caught up somewhere in the patch notes with it. It's going to be like somewhere I'm not expecting it. That's how I'm going to get hit. The Atera's Furor node on the Atera's Blessing tree now only causes companions to taunt if Atera's Blessing was cast directly. Now Druid effects that can cast it indirectly. Crow Storm and the 3 follow-up nodes have been removed. And a new node that grants haste and frenzy surprise against the Storm Crows healed with Atera's Blessing. Only one's being clever? Is that what you're doing? The moment I paused the stream because of butts, we already won. I don't know if I've ever had to do that. I've ever actually been trying so hard to maintain my composure, and I just couldn't. I think it's the first time. So congratulations. Butts are what you really like. You prefer a nice flat butt, something you can round out over time. God, you love butts. I kind of feel like I knew that already, Zakar. Got a video? All right, Boardman. Good luck with the video, man. Thanks for the raid, dude. Think about razors. Used to use electric, but the butts aren't sharp enough. Nice try, Quiet. This stream is going up ablaze. This doesn't sound like what you want. It's kind of close, but it takes some really bad enunciation on my part to get there. Holy Aura's Demoralizing Aura node now has 2 points allocatable. Allocable? Is allocable like a British way of saying it? I've never seen allocable before. It's always allocatable. Now, correctly states that it only works when Holy Aura is activated. I don't remember which one that is. Yeah, you really were hoping for that, weren't you? Really depressed about what? I feel like this is a trap. Oh, it's the AoE slow? Okay, I didn't really use that anyway. Fury Leap, add a new node that procs Upheaval when you land, consumes Upheaval's mana cost, and requires greater than 0 mana on landing. Rise and Poisonous Thicket now proc the Summon Vine skill from Spriggan Form. The vines they summon are affected by the Spriggan Form tree and share its vine limit. Rise grants 20% chance to summon vines per point from 20 and can have 4 points allocated from 5. Poisonous Thicket grants 25% chance to summon vines per point from 20 and can have 4 points. That's a buff for both of those. I don't know if this is going to make a build out of it, but you get a point on each one of them. I'm not sure what that word was supposed to be to begin with, but it's obviously a trap hunter. Don't know what butt lades are. That's a good try, Kotas. I like that one. This bee laid eggs all over the place. It's a good try. No, I did not say it. Nice try. Ice Thorns, this is a big one. Previously, we announced that Ice Thorns would be removed this patch since its fantasy was going to be covered by Spriggan Form's Spirit Thorns skill. However, after receiving feedback and more playtesting, we decided it would be best to keep Ice Thorns in the game until it can be replaced by another new spell in a future patch. So if you like Ice Thorns, it's still there. You quit? Time for more coffee. What the heck are you even trying to do there, Quiet? I have no idea what that was supposed to be. That's a better one, Jer. That's a much better one. The best part about that one, Jer, is the way it transforms when using butt, because it becomes butt laid. Yeah, some people do like Ice Thorns. The Thorn Shield from Ice Thorn's tree now has been renamed to Thorn Barrier. Second Nature now causes Ice Thorns to be double cast rather than instant cast. And Floric Tides can have 4 points from 6. Why did they add so much throwing support in Butt Dancer? Because they have a throwing skill? Seems to make sense to me. Is that all they added? We need new tech. Oh, you have 7.5 minutes. 7.5. Javelin. Pilgrimage grants 15% more fireline damage with Javelin from 25%, but grants 30% melee ignite and electrify chance while on cooldown. From 25. That sounds like a nerf. Overall. Spiked Bombardment increases mana cost by 25 from 30. Feels like a buff. Maelstrom. Maelstrom is a skill that's needed some work for a while. Our goals are to concentrate Maelstrom's power onto fewer stacks, remove auto casting, and add more advantages for self casting, rather than relying very heavily on procs. It deals 20% more damage. We fixed the tooltip saying that add spell damage applied 100% a second. It was actually 50 and is now 60. So that's a buff, even though numerically it will look like a nerf because the number was wrong to begin with. Increase the freeze rate by 20%. We all know freeze is so good. Kappa. It lasts 7 seconds from 8. It costs 17 mana from 20. Primalists with Maelstrom Specialized will receive a free respec for its tree. Also removed Sudden Gale, which is the instant cast version of it. That sounds painful, doesn't it? The Ring of Butts zone in PoE? I don't remember that right. No. Sounds very smelly. Do they really add more advantages? Good question. Find out. That's a big loss, right? Added a new node beneath the waves. Gain a stack of Lagon's Slumber if you go 1 second without directly casting Maelstrom. Up to 1 per point. When you directly cast Maelstrom, consume all Lagon's Slumber stacks to cast Maelstrom an additional time per stack. Requires 2 points in turmoil. Is that going to be good? What are you trying to... You are murdering words to try to make this work quiet. You're absolutely murdering them. I am Kmakanox. It's 100% true. You're looking up dictionary words now? Oh my god. It is a very slow patch notes reading, it's true. Y'all are distracting me so much. But only for the next 4.5 minutes. Then we're done. Get a lot of stacks just from Warcry and Maelstrom every 5. Yeah. Yeah. Where were we? Added a new node, Frozen Abyss. More damage dealt to chilled or frozen enemy. Requires 3 points in Arctic Blast. I like that. I like a more damage node that's chilled or frozen. I do not like nodes that are frozen. We talked about why yesterday. It's just not... It's not trustworthy when you need it the most. You just don't get it. Turbulence grants 8% more damage. Doubled if you have at least 60 attunement from 15% more damage and 10% increased mana cost. Whirlpool grants 10% increased duration from 20, but can have 4 points allocated from 3. Well, that's definitely a nerf. Vortex grants 60% more damage when cast on a totem. Okay. I'm gonna say it, there's no voting yet. We'll see. 60 attunements, easy to hit. Good. Should be easy to get there. Where was I? I had the Storm grants 20% more damage from 15, but can have 3 points allocated from 5. Mostly a nerf. Calm now requires 1 point in Turbulence from 2 in Sleep-Footed or 2 in Arctic Blast. Correspondingly, those nodes can no longer be reached via Calm. Yeah, almost all of the dot ailments are unlimited. Windswept now requires 2 points in Calm from 4 in Turbulence. Power of the Storm now requires 1 point in Sleep-Footed from 2 points in Whirlpool. Maelstrom is now unlocked to character level 12. When was it before? Serpent Strike, Calling Point can now only have 3 points allocated from 4. That's a nerf. Smite's Sacrifice node now correctly states in its stat line that it consumes health rather than having a health cost. We're going to see the significant difference there mechanically. Static Orb. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mages with Static Orb specialists will receive a free respec for its tree. When you have Orbital Fulmination, orbs now orbit for 3 seconds from 5, but reach the same maximum distance. Their radial velocity is 67% higher. It's a damage nerf in most scenarios, particularly against large tanky enemies. They are nerfing your Static Orb butts of steel. I hope that wasn't intentional. I really do. Excited for the new crafting system and the legendary weapons, plus the 10 new areas with 1 new dungeon. The changes in skill paths, etc. is just okay. Thanks to all travelers. Have a good start tomorrow. Thanks, Pyrodin. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Assuming you are not actually aware, this was purely coincidental that your name is that. You can see there's a word I can't say for the next minute. I'm 95% sure you are a new account created by someone who knows that, but just in case that's not true, and you just happen to be someone who came in with that name, I want you to know why I said butts. Not to pick on you, because I had to replace it with some other word, and that's the word I chose. My sacrifice should have worked with Flair's Pride Shield. Oh, okay. I see. You started the blender build. So far, it doesn't look like they've touched it. We haven't seen anything in there yet. Butts of Steels. Thank you so much for the follow. Much appreciated. And Hunter, thank you for giving the sub to Butts of Steels. Much appreciated on both accounts. Butts bot. I'm done. Hey, I can say the words now. All right. I can actually say Blades of Steels properly now. I have won this time around. That was scary. Okay. Now we can say that was the thing. This is the right way. Good, good, good. Oh man. Wait, that buttbot is a real real bot? What does it do? Randomly replaces nouns and chat sends with butt. Okay, I like that. That does sound like something that'd be worth having. Alright, back to the Static Orb stuff. Storm Artillery now also grants 8% more damage. Overwhelming Barrage now grants 8 ward gain on stun from 5. Arcane Current grants 2 static charges on it from 1. But can have 4 points again from 5. Ball Lightning Change aims to specifically hit combos that bypass the downside of this note. Minus 26 mana cost from minus 22. If you also have Scatter Blast and you only have a 20% chance to create small orbs. Oh god. Ruining this. Why are they ruining this? What are they doing? Why are they ruining this? I don't get it. Have Orbital Fulmination. Their orbit duration reduced by 30%. I get that one. Think. Get that one. Feels like they went pretty hard on this, huh? What's up, Twin Blade? Already a time for tomorrow, unfortunately. Had little time to play and have vacation soon. That's unfortunate. What's with people with Blade in their name all of a sudden? That's crazy. Your dog just punched you in the throat? Is that for failing to get me to say Blade when you were supposed to? Was he that crazy strong instead of orbiting? Yeah, it feels like they really went hard on it. I don't know why. 1 minute too late, you know, for the can't say Blades for half an hour. Knock the wind out of you? Well, that's what you get. Swipe. The Spirit Wolf subskill and Lupine Attunement nodes now scales damage with other nodes on the swipe tree. Does not scale with non-minion damage and has 150% added minion melee damage effectiveness. Swipe buffed. Was it? Was it though? Was it really? Totems. Storm Totems deal around 12% more hit damage with its Thorns. Storm Totem deals around 12% more hit damage with its Lightning Storm. Fixed a bug where Warcry Totem did not receive health scaling from attributes or levels. Fixed a bug where Warcry Totems were not considered as totems for effects like while you have a totem. That's a pretty big deal. Fixed the Shaman Mastery bonus, not reducing the mana cost of Warcry Totems. Warcry's Totemic Heart node now displays the Warcry Totem tooltip when you hold Alt. Mostly buffs, I think. I think those are all buffs. Primalist unlock order has changed. Maelstrom is now unlocked at character level 12 from 15 points in Primalist passives. Those are going to be pretty similar. Like a little bit earlier now. Warcry is unlocked at 10 points in Primalist passive from 10 points in Beastmaster. That's obviously much sooner. Summon Stormcrow is now unlocked at 15 points in Primalist passes from character level 16. That's very similar. Summon Scorpion is now unlocked at 15 points. Beastmaster passes from 30. I believe that means you can now use the Scorpion without Beastmaster, and I think before it was in the Beastmaster only tree, so that makes some builds now viable that may not have been possible before. Summon Frenzy Totem is now unlocked at 25 points in Beastmaster from 20. Is it 25? Is 25 actually the cutoff? Does that mean Frenzy Totem is exclusive now and it wasn't before? Summon Sabretooth is now unlocked at 35 points in Beastmaster from 10 points in Primalist. So Sabretooth has now become exclusive for some reason. I don't know why. Earthquake is now unlocked at 15 points in Shaman passes from 10. You have to put a few more points into Shaman to get Earthquake. Avalanche is now unlocked at 25 points in Shaman passes from 20. Don't even get Avalanche at all now outside of Shaman. Might as well remove Sabretooth. It definitely needs a rework really badly. Freaking Form is now unlocked at 5 points in Druid from 15. Summon Spriggan is now unlocked to 15 points. Druid passes from 10. Daily Roots is now unlocked to 15 points and Druid passes from 5. Interesting. Okay. What are the Spriggan like exclusives? Are they well, it's bear, and so it must be bug butt. Is that it? Spriggan form leveling just got hella better. I bet. Passives. Overhaul the Druid passive tree. Primalist to receive a free respec of their passives. Primalist will get a free respec of the passives due to the overhaul of Druid passives. Well, this doesn't really tell you much about the Primalist new tree, does it? Technically, which is Druid exclusive? I thought it was, but it says it's unlocked at 15 points in Druid, so it's not. Definitely not if it's there. That would not be a Druid exclusive. As a typo? Oh, did they already cover that? I thought it was gonna be 2. Oh, you have 2 things that say it's 15? Okay, yeah, that's true. Right, you're right, yeah. So that should be 35. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. So we're good. I mean, it'd be cool in having Tangle Roots not on Druid, but that's a Druid. Doing common Tangle Roots can't unlock same. Yeah, right. I just didn't notice they were both at 15. Shaman, Glacial Strike now grants 40 melee cold every 3 seconds as a non-scaling 5-point bonus from +5 per point. Non-scaling 5-point bonus. What's a 5-point bonus? What is that? 5-point bonus? Fix the Glacial Strike tooltip saying that it applied every 5 seconds rather than 3. Butt Dancer, aka Blade Dancer. They got several 5-point bonuses now. Oh yeah? Oh, they haven't talked about that yet, have they? Pursuit grants 6% increased melee and throwing damage per point from just melee damage. It grants 8% increased movement speed at 5 points invested from 1% increased movement speed per point. No change in maximum move speed. Oh, that's another at 5 points invested. Huh. Get a bonus for having 5 points minimum, but not for less than 5. Wonder if they're gonna say that explicitly in here because they haven't yet. Once grants +2 melee fizz damage and +2 throwing fizz damage from just 2 melee fizz. Yes, you definitely see more throwing. Top passive Druid says you gain aspect of the Viper when you summon butts. Oh, I like that. Flash of Steel now grants 15% increased melee and throwing attack speed while dual wielding at 5 points invested. From 2% increased melee attack speed per point with up to 8. Increased melee and throwing attack speed while dual wielding at 5 points invested. From 2 per point with up to 8. Okay, so what happens before 5? That's just the other stuff that was in there? I don't know what else was in there. Alright, Model of Fate. Let's go to Model of Fate. So they've definitely seen these bonuses though. These are interesting. Didn't have those before. Spires now only attack the player while they are in combat. You can actually pick up your shit now without getting bombarded with crap. Added 2 new random echo layouts. 10 is a much bigger number than 2. 10 new random echo layouts. More diversity in your echo maps. Coming to a last epoch near you. I really like the mechanical one. I think it's super cool looking. I'd have an incentive to spend 5 points and then go elsewhere. Yeah, for sure. Spire changes a nerf to you, a nerf to Spires, or a nerf to you. Will movement be better next patch? On what build? Oh, you mean like the movement changes? Is that in here? Skyrim music with random butts in the background. You like that? Yeah, I think it's like, I think they fit well together. They do say it on there? Well, there you go. Spires and Mono force you to make a damn loot filter. Finally. Guess that's true. Usually if it's forced me to pick things up, look at them later. It better? Is it better? Yes. It's better. Campaign greatly improved visuals in several chapter 5 nodes. The Ruined Coast, Majelka, the Sapphire Quarter, the Oracle's Abode, the Majelkan Catacombs, and the Majelkan Way Station. We'll be going through the campaign tomorrow to start with on a new werebearer. So we'll see that stuff. Updated void environmental visuals throughout chapter 2 and 3. And I just love this. This looks freaking sick as hell. Visuals. Visual changes. The color of hit flash effects on enemies now varies with damage type. I think that's really cool looking. Updated the visuals for the base version of Abyssal Echoes. Updated the visuals for all Flame Reave variants. Updated the visuals for all Snap Freeze variants. Soul Feast now has a new visual for its Cone physical version. Improved the visuals for the small version of Cold Converted Static Orb. That skill just happened, and they're already improving the visuals. Updated Wolf Howl and Werebear Roar visuals. Werebear 2. Updated the visuals for Decayed and Void Touched Spriggan enemies. Added new model animations for Void Fire Maggots. When are Exalts going to have icon on map and have a shiny purple light? I don't know. That's a good question. They may never. The character select screen. Does this remind you of any game? You know, is there any game in maybe in the same genre that's kind of a little bit like? I don't know. When you log into Last Debug tomorrow, you'll immediately notice two substantial new changes: the all-new character select screen and new music accompanying it. The team has been at work on this and is proud to share it with you. This has been a large project as it also pulls in all 4 of the new character models. Fable? Does Fable look like that? The character select screen has been rebuilt from the ground up. The background visuals for creating a new character or loading an existing one have been replaced. Lost Ark? I think it's something a little older than Lost Ark. A little bit older. Might be a campfire involved or something like that, I don't know. Overhaul the animation visuals that play when selecting a class. Replace the character models with Acolyte, Mage, and Sentinel. Change the music used on the login and character select screen. Is not the music I'm playing right now, by the way. This is a different game. Updated the user interface for creating a character. You ever heard of Diablo? Yeah. Heading off for the day, resting up for tomorrow. All right, Quiet, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Specifically 2, yes. Specifically 2. I am confident that this is paying respects to Diablo 2. User interface. The hot sauce Diablo? Oh, that's true, it is. Overhaul the visual presentation of the world map. The backgrounds have been redrawn and other elements like waypoints have been adjusted. We were very pleased with the artistry of the new world map and we introduced in 8.8.2, but it proved to be difficult to read in game. So they have redone that again. Hovering over an enemy now shows most ailments they are affected by below their top of screen health bar. You now have ailment trackers on enemies. That's pretty sick. That's how Lost Ark probably also is paying homage to Diablo. You ever heard of Diablo? Because you're always on your phone and you can't spend phone time researching for phone games. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Your most requested feature is in? Is that the one? Is it the ailment tracker? Added a tooltip to the loot filter window that appears when you've reached the maximum number of rules. I've never done that. Added minimap icons for key items. Hey. Cool. Implemented toggleable RGB lighting effects for compatible Logitech devices. You have Logitech stuff, you get to do cool colors with them. I hope that that wasn't your most requested feature, was it, Lurker? Taco Bell, true, yeah, Taco Bell's Diablo sauce, right? Items. There is I told you guys there's so much to go over. Renamed polearms to spears. Maces are no longer referred to as blunt weapons in some places. No longer get high off of maces, sorry guys. Replaced all spear-based types, including new visuals and stats. Replaced all staff-based types, including new visuals and stats. The Sentinel has 2 new sets of body armor and helmet visuals, including one which replaces the old starting models. The Acolyte has a new set of body armor and helmet visuals. And higher tier armor and helmets for the Mage, Acolyte, and Primalist more consistently use higher tier models. Ailment tracking, so not making your Logitech stuff be more pretty and colorful. Okay, I see. Type of wings at Greenmill? Oh, okay. Might have missed it, but did they finally make it so you can understand crit? I haven't seen that yet. Added 16 new uniques. Also, some uniques have changed. Buldar's Wrath. Now has a 5-second internal cooldown using Earthquake. Requires level 76 from 75. Mistakenly pre-announced. It was supposed to be this patch originally. F for Buldar's Wrath. Eternal Eclipse now requires level 72 from 36. That's a huge jump. They clearly put it in the wrong spot. Like when you create a unique, you're like, damn, that's like almost 40 levels too low. Whoops. Terra's Path grants 80 to 120 health from 20 to 80. Grants you and your minions 20 to 28% increased healing effectiveness from 80. 20 to 28% chance to for summon vines every second from 20% chance for summon vine or entangling roots. No longer summons entangling roots. Too bad. Now uses the Spriggan Form Summon Vine skill, so the vines they summon are affected by the Spriggan Form tree and share its vine limit. This also means it summons 3 vines at once rather than 1. You need to just remove crit and replace it with big slaps. That's true. Yeah, that would be way better. Hermode's Cage. Now grants rage on kill in werebear form rather than mana on kill. Grants 65 to 100% increased elemental damage. Oh, interesting. No longer grants increased cast speed. No longer increases the mana cost of skills in werebear form. Interesting. Raise the level to nerf its legendary potential. Maybe. Legacy of the Quiet Forest. Damn, Quiet just missed this one. Now grants 15 to 20 rage every 3 seconds while in Spriggan form, from 10 to 15 mana every 3 seconds while in Spriggan form. Pretty simple fix. Still has value. Mike won't let us have anything nice. Omnis now requires 76 from 75. It's interesting, a bunch of stuff moved up literally 1 level. For some reason. The Slab. Base type changed to Iron Glass Shield, resulting in additional 7% block chance from the implicit. Reduces block chance by 52 to 55% from 40. Adds 25 to 55 health. They must have seen us trying to do the math on this. Trying to make it work out. The sad part is, even getting absolutely best stuff, it still didn't work out. And they've nerfed it. So now it's completely bricked. It's completely dead. So much for making uniques that sucked good. Oh, that unique sucks, but it has some chance of being good. If you turn to a legendary, we'll fix that. No, we got a solution for you. Smoke Weaver grants 20 to 25% increased cooldown recovery for shift from 25 to 30. Shift distance roll now matches shift cooldown recovery roll. Grants 250 to 410 dodge range from 210 to 380. That, to me, that's like a freaking buff, man. You're giving even more dodge. Okay. More nerfs to the Slab legendary in there too. Really? Went from 167% needed to 230%. Holy shit. Not doing the math anymore? Yeah, there's no point. It's a dead item. It died before it ever lived. The poor thing. Veil Root no longer gives 10% chance to summon a Veil Spirit when you cast a physical or buff spell. It now grants +1 to Spriggan form and 20% increased area with Thorn Shield. Uh-oh, set items are up. Uh-oh. Wait, okay, 2 new set items? Wait, do we already know about these? Let's make sure. I think we did. Yeah, we did. Yeah, we knew about these. These are already things we knew. Okay. 2 new set items. Boardman Set! Now grants 10 to 21% Lightning Pen. That's a pretty significant buff. Not bad. That trombone noise. For Slab, yeah. Course Airs Set. This is when we tried so hard the theory craft and just couldn't come up with anything good enough. Remember, guys, as we're going through these, no matter how good these numbers are, you'll never get them to be legendaries. Sorry. Corsair's Boarding Shield grants 275 to 575 block effectiveness. All right, it's a little bit of block effectiveness. Grants 7 to 15 dexterity. That's a small increase. Is this really what they're gonna do? They're just gonna like slightly increase the numbers on these sets, and they're like, hey, we totally fixed the problem. Corsair's Blood Cowl grants 35 to 72 increased chance to find bows from 35. That's what they're doing. Okay, this is what they're doing. All right, okay. Grants 35 to 72 increased area effect with Lethal Mirage from 35 to 60. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like a 10%, 20% increase on some of the stats on it. Forgotten Knight set. Now grants 70, 105 increased void damage from 50 to 70. Exactly what they're doing. 7 to 14 block chance from 5 to 7. For the Defiance. Locket of the Forgotten Knight now grants 29 to 70 increased void chance from 30 to 50. Grants 21 to 20% chance to apply Time Rot from 30 to 50 armor. That's a nice little extra. 2 set item bonus is now 50% increased Time Rot effect instead of 50% increased void damage. Okay. 3 set item bonus is now plus 15 void pen instead of 15% increased Time Rot effect. Okay. No idea why sets exist if they can never actually be really good. Just remove them. The sense, yeah. This I grasp the very basic concerns that they have about stats. I don't grasp the current solutions. If we want to be charitable about this, the charitable position to be is that sets are something they want to worry about later. Try to fix them in the future, because this ain't doing it. Obviously, this ain't doing it, Chief. This ain't gonna overcome the fact that sets suck to begin with, and that they also can't be legendary. Gaspar set 2 item set bonus now grants 35% increased CDR speed for Decimate from 25, and Decimate deals 40% more damage. Still useless. They just shouldn't exist, honestly. Just remove them. You don't need sets. Just focus on legendaries with cool effects. I tend to agree with you. I don't see, like, well, with the exception of, like, the lightning one, but you could just throw that into, like, one unique and solve the problem that way. Just make it a rare unique. So all this stuff could be resolved with uniques. Make sets legendary like Grim Dawn. Yep, change them into unique. So all the effects that actually mattered, turn them into unique. And a bunch of this stuff you could just like throw out. You don't need it at all. Just it's not viable. It's never been viable. Halvar's set. Halvar's pledge grants 25 to 40 spell fizz from 10 to 15. Though it's implicit now, gives 39 to 47 adaptive from 46 to 62. Okay. Just shift some numbers around, see what happens. 2 set item bonus is now plus 15 spell cold. Do I want to read through other these that are bad anyway? Invokers, like we're adding plus 1 to stack, flame orb, and snap freeze. That has a spot maybe in leveling, maybe. Isidora's has never been worthwhile. It's still not worthwhile. Yeah, it's still not worthwhile. Mythical Gear when Last Bears. Let's see, 100% increased health regen if you stun an enemy recently instead of 1 mana again and kill when transformed. So they got rid of the rage potential on that. Last Bear's score now also grants 10 to 15 endurance. It grants 1500 endurance threshold instead of 550 mana efficiency. Okay, this is way more defensive focus now. Lament now grants 10 to 15 health regen. Last Bear's Lament grants 15 to 50 void res from 10. This one might have something. There might be something in there for this. I don't know. 15 health against stun instead of 15% crit multi. Never mind. I take that back. Just like that, they've decided they've made it practically useless. I mean, 15% crit multi kind of sucked to begin with. 15 health against stun is useless. 3 set item bonus is now 30 plus 30 strength instead of 100% increased health regen if you stun an enemy recently. They threw that into the okay. Yeah, I don't know about this one. Pebble set buff finally. Let's see how it is. They add mythic gear, same as legendaries, but sets. There you go. So many damage added. They don't even have a number for it. Pebbles Femur grants 24% lightning res from 15. The collar grants 20% cold res from 15. The collar grants increased minion damage. Increased minion damage 15. Yeah, like it's infinite increased minion damage. So now you're gonna use the collar for sure. Pebbles Bite Mark Sash grants 24% fire res from 15. Pebbles Bite Mark Sash grants increased minion damage from 15. Just more increased minion damage, just so much increased minion damage. 3 set item bonus now plus 24 fire, cold, or lightning damage for skeletons from 15. Ruby Fang, actually, let's see if Ruby Fang's spicy now. 2 item set bonus now grants plus 1% melee poison chance per 1% uncapped fire res. It's a plus 2 to fire and poison skills. Poison Pally, I guess, is as where they're still going with that. Poison Pally. I don't. Is that good? I don't think that's good. Still, I think it still sucks. Shattered Lance, 2 set item bonus is now 15% increased melee cold damage per 10 health regen. Just 10, just 10, not 10%. 6% increased health regen per strength. Melee, increased melee cold damage. Interesting. So the big health regen's gone. Okay. Sinathia's set, 2 item set bonus now grants +2 to curse skills and minion skills from 1. Okay. Ain't doing much, is it, guys? This really ain't changing the narrative on sets. Sunforged Cuirass now gives 15 to 20% increased fire damage per forged weapon from 100% to 104% increased fire damage at least 3 forged weapons. Okay. This seems like it's going to be nominal of a difference unless you can get like an absolute shit ton of forged weapons. Reworked Sunforged Hammer to give various bonuses per forged weapon. Reworked Sunforged Great Helm to give various bonuses per forged weapon. What bonuses? 2 item set bonus is now +1 to forged strikes and Smelter's Wrath instead of 150% increased Maelstrom chance. Okay. 3 item set bonus is now +3 maximum forged weapons instead of gain inspiration when you stun enemy. Okay. Max is 12. Okay. Valatria's set. Valatria's downfall grants 65% to 103% increased lightning damage from 65 to 110, and it grants 65 to 130 mana from 65 to 110. You guys running out there to use Valatria's set? Like, can't wait. Get that extra 20% increased lightning damage on it. Zarek's set, 2 items set bonus now grants 54% increased chance to find potions. Oh god. 3 items set bonus now grants +54 necrotic damage from 40. That's a little bit of a buff. Okay, let's get on to some stuff that are interesting. It's not sets. Yeah, sets are basically dead with like the exception of the one they didn't touch, right? Like they actually didn't touch Lightning Meteor in here. The only one that I can think of that I care about. Got no buffs, and so therefore Lightning Meteor build got nerfed because it can't make legendaries in 2 slots. Okay. Moving on. No more ranting about sets from me for a little bit. Global scaling of enemies has been increased. These are multiplicative. Enemy damage by 1%, enemy health by 2%. This is probably to help with the character power. We'll see, how it all plays out, but this is probably what we're doing here. Level damage scaling, multiplicative with other changes. No change to damage below level 30, where you won't have legendaries most of the time at least. 4.7% more enemy damage at level 55. Note the enemies near this level have been adjusted and deal less damage than before despite this change. 4.4% more enemy damage at level 80 and 1.7% more at level 100. So a little bit more damage. Throughout night set 2-piece bonus is worse and some people use the sword and amulet. Awesome. Does not seem like I said I wasn't gonna rant about that anymore. Whoops. It does not seem like it's got better. But anyway, level health scaling, multiplicative with other changes. No change to health below level 30. 1.4% more enemy health at level 55. Note that enemies near this level have been adjusted and have less health than before despite this change. 1.8% more enemy health at 80 and 1.1% more enemy health at level 100. So most of this stuff seems to be affecting 80 plus. So that's where you'd see the biggest legendary effect. There's not much here though, right? A little bit more damage, a little bit more health. Rare enemies, also multiplicative. Enemies that originally appear earlier in the game have more health than before as rare enemies in end game. Increased damage multiplier to 185 from 180. Chapter 9 enemies. Oh boy, this is scary. Did they fix Chapter 9 enemies or are they still horribad? Let's find out. For endgame, the Scarabrider has been replaced by the Scalebane Saboteur who throws javelins that explode after delay and rides a red scarab. Well, delay suggests you can get out of it, which is something you couldn't do with the Scarabrider before. That sounds better. Show you the bodyguard. Ascendant Ember Mages deal 11% less damage, have 5% less range and have slightly greater cast speed randomization. And arena pack size scaling has 85% reduced effect on them from 40%. The smaller groups of them in arena. Ascendant Raiders deal 7% less damage and 8% less health. Cave Spiders deal 5% less damage and 5% less health. Were Cave Spiders ever a problem? Wait, are those aren't the ones that do the elemental thing, are they? Those things are annoying. Crystal Elementals. This was a big one for arena. Deal 10% less damage. You respawn in monolith zones that contain them, and they no longer spawn in the arena. That's one way to fix Crystal Elementals in arena. Remove them from the arena. No longer a problem. Crystal Lotus deals 10% less damage. Crystal Golems deal 10% or 11% less damage. Desert Spinners deal 7% less damage and have 10% less health. Desert Stingers deal 7% less damage. Spine Hunters deal 8% less damage, have 10% less health. And arena pack size scaling has 70% reduced effect on them from 40. So hopefully you can kill them a little bit quicker. Spine Hunter Alphas deal 8% less damage. Those things are very strong. We'll see if that's enough. Scarabs deal 5% less damage, and their dash is a 2-second cooldown. So Scarabs hopefully will not be plopping you all over the screen and watch yourself get yeeted into packs as they just continuously smack you in the butt and push you along. Scarab Broodkeeper's dash has a 2-second cooldown. Scarab Riders deal 12% less damage. Gorgon's Poison Twister deals 17% less damage. That thing was so strong if you stood in it. It was crazy. Diamond Matrons deal 5% less damage, have 8% less health, and increase the size of their hitbox. I don't think that's going to make them that much less annoying, but at least they'll die faster, so that's good. They're still stupid annoying. They're not especially hard, they just get in groups and you can't see anything, and then freaking Gorgons are putting their twisters on you and you can't even tell, and that stuff is still there, but at least they'll die quicker and their twisters won't hurt as much. Emerald Nagasa have 10% less health. The poison applied by their regular melee attacks has 40% reduced duration from 30, and arena pack size scaling 85% reduced effect on them from 40. A lot of stuff will not be nearly as large as far as pack size go in the arena. Should make them more manageable. Gold Elementals deal 10% less damage. Majasa deals 8% less damage and has 3% less health. Osprix Interceptors deal 6% less damage. Osprix Zealots deal 7% less damage, have 4% less health, and arena pack size scaling has 100% reduced effect on them from 70. Ruby Nagasa deal 5% less damage. Ruby Captain Arjani deals 10% less damage. Stormthrower Zale deals 8% less. Sapphire Nagasa deal 10% less damage, have 10% less health. Arena pack size scaling has 40% reduced affecting them from 0. Scalebane Swarmkeeper deals 5% less damage. I don't think I realized just how many freaking enemies there really were from Chapter 9. They added so many enemies. Scalebane Sorcerers deal 9% less damage and have 5% less health. Scalebane Bodyguards now take 95% less damage on block from 0, and their Shield Bash no longer deals negligible damage, but their Shield Rush deals 40% less damage, and they have 16% less health. You're happy with the Bodyguard changes, but you feel like it needs a behavior change? Yeah, so he's not going to go any slower, right? And he's still going to be attacking you from off screen if this all has changed, but hopefully it'll be less likely to one-shot you. Are dungeons the only endgame thing we're getting this patch? They're the only like direct content that is like you go into this content. The legendary system and the crafting are gonna have huge effects on the endgame and how you decide to go through things. There are some small changes to the monolith, but as far as endgame actual content, go in and do new content, it will be the dungeon. When he stun locks you, it actually hurts now. Yeah, that's a good point. Scalebane Bandits deals 6% less damage and have 12% less health. The Scalebane Guild Leader deals 5% less damage and has 5% less health. Scalebane Rogues deal 5% less damage. Their flurry attacks have 40% poison chance to each hit from 30% with the first hit and 100% with the next 2. That should be less overall. We're guaranteed 2 stacks before. Their anti-range dash has a 2.5 second cooldown from 2.2. They don't dash quite as often into you. And arena pack size scaling is 85% reduced, affecting them from 40, so you'll see a lot fewer of them in the arena. Silver Elementals deal 5% less damage and 5% health. There we go, we're through all of those. Holy crap. Might legit not matter depending on how much they buff the shield bash. Yeah, we'll have to see on that one. The other ones though, like a lot of these changes I think do mostly address the problems. Like they address Crystal Elemental, you just won't see them in the arena, no problem. There's another one in there that I thought was a pretty big deal. I can't remember what it is. They definitely touched on pretty much everything. Some of it you just have to see functionally whether or not it makes a big enough difference. Oh, Scarabrider was very annoying in the arena because he would just come over and hit you, and it was practically like a hit scan. Like you couldn't get out of it. For this patch, apart from the crafting, is overhype. We'll see. Chapter 2 and 3 enemies. Added a new enemy to replace Omen's Eye and similar enemies. Festering cultists deal 5% more damage. They didn't need that. They did not need to do more damage. That was not necessary. Void leeches deal 10% more damage. Probably didn't need that either. Void's enemies did not need to deal more damage either. So the hardest chapter in the story has gotten harder. Have fun, guys. Void Fused Earths deal 6% more damage. Infernal Husks have 5% more health and damage. The Primeval Dragon deals 2% more damage and 4% health. That ain't gonna make any difference with him whatsoever. Void Amalgamation is 4% health. Yep, rip level 50 exactly. No one's getting past 50 in hardcore anymore. 4, 5, and 6 enemies. Immortal Eyes deal 8% more damage, have 11% more health. Imperial Arbalests, I don't even remember those, deal 6% less damage. Imperial Guards have 26% more health. Imperial Sentries deal 4% less damage. Imperial Watchers, I'm guessing that's supposed to be Imperial Watchers, deal 10% more damage, have 11% more health. Orcurian the Rampant deals 5% more damage, has 5% more health. Poor Orcurian. Never even got a chance to have his unique become legendary. Wisp deal 5% more damage. New werebear form. Why does it say Ewok Florida on there? Yeah, okay. That's not what I expected. At all. Thought it was gonna be something different than that. Where was I? Alright, chapter 7 and 8. Bitter Wings deal less damage. Flame Paladins deal less damage. Giant Crabs have less health. Lobsters, Sharks deal less damage. Lightning Elementals deal less damage. Osprix Vanguards deal less damage. Thulurans deal less damage. Marunas Sirens deal less damage. Skalnir Mercenaries. This is like one of the easier chapters. Some of this stuff is like Storm Wisp casting lightning bolts less frequently is probably good. Angari Patriarchs dealing less damage. Fine, but what they really should have done is just made them not do so many goddamn avalanches at once. Like it shouldn't go on for 3 minutes straight. Reduce the size of ice elemental packs in the arena. Okay. Lagon is now immune to stun and freeze and cannot be erased in the campaign. Hey guys, freeze was too OP. We had to make Lagon immune to it. They copy and pasted the temporal swift from Scourge. I actually have some inside knowledge on that. They did not actually, it looks like that. Like it seems the way that it went that they copied it, but they actually had this planned out before Scourge launched. And this was coincidental. Not saying they'll never copy anything from Pee-wee or haven't copied anything in the past and vice versa. This one actually was coincidental. Weird, but a coincidence. The shield rest does less, but his batch does more, so it depends on that, yeah. You freeze the gun one time? I think I probably freeze him like once, yeah. You can still be perma-feared? Nice. Endgame boss has got 100 Argent deals 5% more damage. Heart and Sauce deals 6% more damage. I mean, Argent is doing 5% more damage. They can make much of a difference. Not gonna kill anybody. Okay. That's all this stuff. I think chapter 9 they did a lot to it. We'll see how it feels. Some of it's gonna be great for arena though. Like you already know, not having Crystal Elementals in the arena is good. That's a clear win right there. So it's maybe the easy way out. Instead of fixing their mechanics, just take them out of the arena. But at least they won't one-shot people from somewhere that they've never even been. All right, block as a mechanic is getting adjusted. The aim is to move power from the block affix to make block a defense that requires a wider source of investments and to curtail the power of certain legendary shields. Well, you already did that with the slab because it's already dead before it lived. Let's see what else we've done. Reduce the value of the block chance affix by around 14%. Increase the block effectiveness values of the hybrid block chance and effectiveness affix by 20%. Increase the value of the health gain on block affix by around 30% at high tiers. The Carapace shield grants 20% block chance from 27. The Iron Glass grants 35 from 33, but grants 400 to 620 block effectiveness from 430 to 630. Okay. The Dawn shield grants 30% block chance from 28. Is there anything in here except for the reduced value of the block chance affix that really matters? Control F Bastion, no results found. That's alright, everyone's gonna have a +2 legendary Bastion according to this anyway, so. Damage taken from critical strikes. Just a nerf Slab. Yeah, Slab got nerfed, Bastion's fine. It's in a good spot. But Slab was way OP. With the potential to gain more than 50% less damage taken from crits by crafting the suffix onto uniques that already had the stat. The stat is being changed to less bonus damage taken from crits, which naturally caps 100%. Individual sources are being approximately doubled in value, resulting in the same effect at the standard 200% crit multi. The less damage taken from critical strikes suffix has been changed to less bonus damage taken from critical strikes, and grants 30 to 100% less bonus damage taken from critical strikes, from 26 to 50 less damage taken from critical strikes. Leviathan Carver now grants 70% less bonus taken from critical strikes, from 35% less damage taken. So this doesn't affect what it does now. It just makes it so if the stat had been like it was before you weren't able to get more than 50% less damage taken from crits. You could now, and you could actually take less damage from crits. They didn't want that to happen. You literally take less damage from a crit than a regular crit if you would have been able to stack this with legendary, with a legendary, like for example Leviathan Carver. So not a super meaningful change really, because that would have been a pretty niche thing to do anyway. Like I guess you'd have been stacking crit chance in the mono to get less damage. It would have been weird though, I guess functionally. So that just can't happen now. It's bonus damage to crits. Once you've hit 100, any extra is not gonna help you. You have to 0 damage from crits build. Yeah, exactly. Who wants 100% block chance and you can have 20%? Yeah, right. Shrines. The Shrine of the Ice Beetle now always summons just one Ice Beetle. That's a nerf and not fun. Oh, but wait. Added the Shrine of the Frozen High, which summons 3 to 5. Okay, that's acceptable. Add another rarer type of shrine. I wonder what that is. Other changes. Change player mouse movement when clicking off the reachable area to sometimes take you to the nearest reachable point in the target location rather than always taking you in the exact direction that you clicked. That should make it feel smoother. 5 Beals' best shrine ever. That's gonna be a fun one. Did they remove crit avoidance? No, they did not. The point of bonus damage from crits is you can get it all in one affix on your weapon and then not have to gear for crit avoidance. That's its purpose. For two-handers, it can free up a lot of affix slots if you go that route. Increase player stun chance bonuses at 200% for melee, 100% for non-melee, from 100% for melee and 50% for non-melee. So stun got stronger for you. Maybe. Stun enemies and minions no longer have their stun duration refreshed by subsequent hits that would stun them. This helps offset the player power gained by the stun chance changes above and reduces awkward long stun animations. So hopefully you don't stun lock them as much. There's no effect on guaranteed stuns from skills such as Warcry and Shield Bash. Other changes, you're livid. Fixed a bug where Acid Flask was creating 50% more bees than intended. Oh yeah, right? Why? Increase the chance to create bees that the Acid Flask idle gains grants from 10 to 28% from 6 to 17. Biggest nerf in the patch note. Fixed a bug where the bees per 10 seconds idle fix would create 50% more bees than intended. So what they're telling us here is, guys, we know bees are not viable right now, but they were way too powerful. Way more than we intended, so we had to nerf them. Sorry. Increased number of beasts that beasts per second idle crits from 3 to 7, from 2 to 4. That's what they told you. You had too many bees before. They weren't viable, but you still had too many, so now you need fewer. All right, music and sound. Player skills. Add a new type of hit sound for abilities that slice enemies. Updated the fire, ice, earth, shrapnel, and water types of hit sounds. Revised looping sounds for Devouring Orb. Add new sounds for Tangly Roots and for Racing Strike. Change the sound for the Void Beam proc on a Racing Strike. Add a new sound for Fireball. Added a sound for when Flame Reave returns to the player. Improved sounds for Flame Ward. Fixed a, I thought Flame Ward sounded pretty good before. Fixed a bug where Holy Aura's Fire Burst sound effect did not trigger every time. True. Revised sounds for Hungering Souls. Improved cast sound for Maelstrom. Improved sound for Twisters. Updated the sounds for Shadow Cascade. Added sounds to the icicle projectiles from Shatter Strike. Changed hit sounds for Shatter Strike. Changed Shield Rush's hit sound to match Shield Throw. Added a new cast sound for Sigils of Hope. Spriggan and Werebear form now have unique footstep sounds. I hope Werebear's like a super plotty sound. Replace the sound for casting Discharge from Static. Fixed a bug where hit sounds for Disintegrate emitted from the player's location rather than the target. Added new sounds for Void Refs. Have they updated the sound that sounds like you're being by a pan? Here's your end game legendary beekeeper gloves. Yeah, sorry. Bee's dead again. Wait, they already were. They spent tens of man hours testing and refining to arrive at the conclusion that bees needed to be nerfed. Well, hopefully they didn't spend tens of man hours to figure that out. Hopefully they just found a bug and they tried to like adjust for it. A bug, huh? It didn't actually factor in that bees were still not viable at the time. Ewok walking on ferns sound for Werebear. That'd be good. I like that. If the new hire something to do. Hit by a pan. Which one does that? Enemies. Updated sounds for enemies in Realm of the Forgotten. Updated vocal sounds for Frozen Wolf, Wangari Hound, Black Wolf, and Winter Nid enemies. Updated some ability sounds for Flame Captain, Frozen Barbarian, Flame Remnant, and Necropolis Scavenger enemies. Updated the sound for Abyssal Hunt, the Void enemy ability. Added an Emerge sound for Emerald Nagasa. And added a new death sound for Flame Griffins. The average bee count didn't change at all. Hey, what's up, Judd? We found a bug, fixed it, but that caused the average count to drop, so we buffed it to compensate. Same bug that caused the Beetle Shrine change. Reading those numbers, it didn't seem like they came back to what they were. Maybe I was reading it wrong. I was reading as they had doubled. Oh, you know, that's what I did. Okay, I'll take the blame for that one. I read it as, for whatever reason, I read 50% more bees as twice as many bees. Tiny, thanks for giving something to see about game. Much appreciated, man. Yeah, I read that as like double bees, and then these changes didn't increase them from double. So okay, so this is not a nerf. This is just this is a compensation for a bug. Thank you for the clarification. When you play again, you'll record. It's funny. Is that like a particular class you hear that from? Hit by a pan. Oh, where was I? Okay. And emerged, right. Mixing. Okay, player ability sounds that reduce the sound of ambient sounds to improve audio clarity. I like that. Sounds for when the player is hit are now significantly quieter and have reduced instancing. When the player is hit are now significantly quieter. There you go. Will that help you out, Reaper? Okay, what is this? Oh, that's actually... This is actually Judd. I've seen you before. I didn't know you looked like that. Have you changed recently? Have you had like a makeover? Oh, is this Mike? Okay, that's right. You guys share it. Share the account. Or in that case, actually. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see it. Wait, if we have Mike in the chat, we have to honor Mike.
Doing the bee dance, doing the bee dance, doing the bee dance.
That is for our Lord and Savior Mike, who looks like an amazing bee, by the way. Can you imagine? Oh my God, this is the best idea I've had at least all stream.
Squirrel.
Can you imagine if they replaced the bee models with Mike dressed up as a bee?
Alright, McFluffin, it's time to get the whole ass out.
I think that's all three, right? We only have three of Mike. I like them all, though. A lot. Improved mixing for Primus voice lines. Improved music transition in Majalison Heights. Fixed a bug where environmental reverb was triggered by picking up or dropping items. Even when the sound effect slider was set to 0. Interesting. You can't wait to play bees? Is there anything about legendaries that could make bees actually viable now? Like the gloves don't. Do they get minion stats now? Can you put minion stats on it? Yeah, gloves get minions, right? How about that one? Where were we? Reduce the volume of item pickup drop reverbs. Implemented a custom EQ profile for Logitech headsets, which can be toggled on setting. A lot of work going on with Logitech. Controller support. The skills panel individual skill trees can now be navigated on a controller. That's cool. The D-pad is used to pick a skill, and the left stick will move in the skill tree. Dialogue selections can now be made with the D-pad on controller. The crafting materials window can now be navigated with a controller. The shop and gambler windows can now be navigated with a controller. Quest reward pop-ups can now be dismissed with the controller. Closing a UI window now plays a sound the same as when using keyboard. You know, but you're wasting your tier 7s on Beekeeper's Glove and Humming Bees. You're gonna find out one way or the other. Optimization. This is always a good part for every patch. Greatly improve the performance of storing crafting materials with the store crafting materials button. Improve the performance of enemies or minions starting a movement or attack animation. Improve the performance of opening and closing the loot filter window, particularly for filters with lots of rules. Improve the performance of playing hit sounds. Improve the performance of flash effects. Improved minimap performance. We'll see how much of an effect that has, you know, in the game overall. This is nice. I definitely get I get a like a little bit of a lag when I store crafting. I also get it though when I open up the crafting and put something in it. That probably won't change this one. Bug fixes. Oh, this is gonna be huge, isn't it? There's gonna be no. Actually, it's not that big. Okay, good. Right, bug fixes. What have you never seen before? Massive allows you to store items. Yeah. Do I get massive allowing to store items? I sometimes get, well, opening that up. You know what I've noticed too? I got a lag like sometimes. It's, make it happen. Get a lag when I search this thing sometimes. This is actually not that bad. Sometimes I get a big lag. You can see it there. I was like backspacing the whole time. Let's see. Sword. Yeah, that's sometimes it works great, and sometimes I get like a big lag on it. It depends. Alright, skills, bug fix skills. Fix the bug where Aura of Decay's poison skin would cause the player to be poisoned when hit even while Aura of Decay was not active. Yeah, that would be bad. Fix the bug where Black Hole would retain its cold tag, taking both the Armageddon and Red Giant nodes. Hey Mount Dardos, loving the patch notes. Nice, yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Fix the Reaper's Mark node and Bone Curse, extending the duration of Mark for Death incorrectly. Fix the bug where Glacier's Endless Frost node was not doubling the chill chance granted by Glacier's skill tree. Fix the bug where Infernal Shade's lingering flames could be triggered by players if also using Devour in Flames, resulting in infinite duration Infernal Shade that's attached to nothing and could scale damage. I know about that. I've heard about that one. Sorry, those who were using that. Whatever you were doing is not going to work so well anymore. Fix the bug where Javelin's tilted DPS did not account for converted added damage when taking the Divine Throws node. Fix the bug where an echoed cast of Javelin, or Javelin, with the Battle Standard node would throw multiple additional Javelins. Fix the bug where an echoed cast of Javelin with the Battle Standard. So it threw more than it was supposed to when it echoed? Is that what it was? I never actually tried that with an echo. Interesting. Fixed a bug where if you gain a Maelstrom stack on kill from the effect of the Gathering Storm node and the lethal damage was from Maelstrom itself, all subsequent damage and healing from all Maelstrom stacks would be cancelled for half a second. Fixed a bug where bow punctures mirages from Penumbral Ambush appeared at the wrong location. Fixed a bug where Sacrifice's Catalyst of Horror node did not cause Sacrifice to chain other minions unless the player is close to the minions. Now that one right there was like a big one that was really harming Sacrifice for a long time, right? That's actually a big deal. I haven't played Sacrifice maybe ever, but I believe, yeah, that was the one. Okay, good. So that got fixed. So maybe now Sacrifice comes back. The Mike B dance. Oh, you've never seen the B dance one. Okay, got you. So the, yeah, I'll do it one more time for you. The vocals on these are actually original.
Doing the bee dance, doing the bee dance, doing the bee
What wasn't on the dev stream. I had to put those in myself. Lots of mixing and, you know, all that stuff. Very, very high level, complicated stuff because of my, you know, high quality music abilities. So it ended with that, yeah. No one else could possibly replicate that. It's that complicated. Fixed a bug where Haruspex Orion was difficult to hit with certain abilities. Fixed a bug where piercing abilities such as Volcanic Orb were destroyed on contact with Spymaster Zarek. Piercing abilities such as Volcanic Orb. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that. Wait, that makes sense. That makes sense, actually. I've seen something kind of like that. I thought it was just like too close to a wall. Even you couldn't, and you do music production quite often. See there? Yeah, Zakar knows just how complex that is. When this patch drop, by the way, yeah, if you look at the top of the notes, it will set it up for your... Wait, why did that happen? Never mind, let me fix that again. It will give you your specific... It's 1 p.m. Central Time. This works with hammers. We ate all your hammers. Okay, yeah, that'd be really bad. The Unix timestamp that converts time for your zone. Yeah, it's at the very top. Fixed a bug. I just read that one. Fixed a bug where diamond matrons could move far too fast. Oh, so that wasn't intended. That makes sense, because man, they would move so fast sometimes, like I can't catch them. 7 p.m. for you? There you go. Yep, 7 p.m. for you, 1 p.m. for me. I can't wait. Great. Items. Fixed a bug where you could not get a critical success when crafting with a void penetration shard. I bet you almost no one noticed that. Fixed a bug where Defiance of Forgotten Knights chance to apply timer to attackers when hit could trigger when taking non-hit damage. Visuals. You reported it? Yeah, sure you did. Fixed a visual bug where using an instant cast skill played the casting visual effect for the last non-instant cast skill you used instead. How did I never notice that? You home from work for about 4 p.m.? Oh yeah, you have plenty of time. Fixed a bug where bow puncture converted to cold or poison would play its base visual effects in addition to its converted visual effects. Fixed a bug where flame ward had no retaliation visual effects when converted to cold or lightning. Okay, yeah, I think I can remember not having a visual effect and just thinking that was like what it was supposed to be. I think so. Fixed a bug where festering cultists did not have a hit flash effect. It's a good thing they have it now, because you're gonna be running from them a lot in the early chapters, just hoping you're hitting them, trying not to die. Fixed a visual bug where ailment visuals were positioned incorrectly on Sapphire and Ruby Nagasa. 28th driving test in the last 3 months tomorrow. Been heavy going. You have to teach them for several days, right? So that's a lot. Fixed a minor visual bug with a Shade of Orbis large lightning bolt attack. Fixed desert stingers from nests having the name Desert Stringer, excuse me, Desert Stringer. Okay. Wish it was Desert Stinger. Good luck, I hope you pass this time. Oh man. Passives. Fixed a bug where Liches harvested legions and Necromancer's Dark Retribution passive nodes displayed the incorrect ability till depth. User interface. We're almost at the end. We're like legit pretty much at the end. Here we go. Fixed a bug where the board the ship to Sorethka objective pointed to the end of time on the world map rather than Thatima. Fixed a bug where the area level display did not increment with the overlay map open or when the player levels up. I remember that. Fixed a bug where system messages like loot filter disabled would be hidden if you disabled English chat messages in settings. Fixed a bug where the max number of loot filter rules could be exceeded using the duplicate rule button. Interesting. Bet that caused some performance issues. Otherwise, you've been teaching illegally for years. All right, let me make sure there's no like comments from the devs that need to be. Nope, we're good. Right, that is the patch notes in under 2 hours.